Haven't been back here in a while, but what if I told you that with all of these sovereign citizen videos and all these sovereign citizens running around, that it almost always starts for them with a suspended or revoked driver's license. And what these people do is they will go into Professor Google, they'll consult with Professor Google, and they will look for a solution for their problems that will allow them to still drive. And they run into a sovereign citizen website which advertises their solution that they are allowed to drive without a driver's license and without registration. So if registration lapse, that's another reason why they will do this. And so that is the reason why these people are a plague on the road. Now, I have a new favorite sovereign citizen video channel. His name is Sergeant Curtis. So go check him out. At Sergeant Curtis is the name of the channel. Very plain and simple. And the reason why I like this channel now is because he explains things from the law enforcement standpoint. As a former sergeant, maybe a present sergeant, I have not seen him explain that yet, but as either way, he has experience as a sergeant, police sergeant. He explains these and even mildly critiques some of these officers for various things, such as women officers having ponytails, because that can be weaponized against them in a standoff confrontational situation. He advocates a driver's side approach for officers because it's the safer way to do those things. You know, a passenger side, a combatant can instigate violence that way. So, and of course he's like, well, this must be some sort of a contagion. He also explained recently that a lot of these websites are starting to see lawsuits from government agencies to shut them down for providing it. I don't believe that these types of websites are covered under the First Amendment, because I don't believe the First Amendment covers free speech that explains to people how they can break the law. It would be such a ruling would be the government ruling against itself and shutting its own law enforcement capabilities down. So I hope to see more of these lawsuits, and so does he. So anyhow, that's a short story to answer his question of why is this such a contagion? Because a lot of people are desperate and they believe that this is their solution. It never ends well for them. It virtually always ends with them in handcuffs in the back of a police car. But that is the reason why, is because they desperately need a solution. They need it to work, but it never does. So they turn to the sovereign citizen websites, and these websites will even sell their bad advice to them. So the worst part is these individuals are paying for advice that eventually gets them arrested in the back of a squad car. That's the worst part of this. And then these sites will also sell fake documentation. They will sell something that is called a World ID, which is not a thing. You know, you can pay for that. You can also pay for a fake sovereign license plate that says not in commerce, which is a line of theirs that they're not operating, because if the sovereign citizen script says that if they're not operating in commerce, that they are not required to have a driver's license, which is also very false. They cite UCC, which is Uniform Commercial Code. There it is, which governs commercial travel. It has nothing to do with individuals having a driver's license. So there you have it, guys. That is the reason why these sovereign citizens are such a huge plague on the landscape, because these are desperate people who need some sort of a solution that allows them to continue to operate a motor vehicle. Or in the words of many sovereign citizens, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Because if you're driving, they say that if you're driving, it's because you're in a commercial capacity. It uses a outdated definition of employed in a legal dictionary called Black's Law Dictionary. It has nothing to do with being black, by the way. Black sovereign adherents will say that Black's Law Dictionary is, in regards to them, it's not. The author of that dictionary just so happens to be named Black. So happens to be his last name. So, and that dictionary does not define laws. Statutes and past legislative laws do. Black's Law Dictionary defines legal terminology, which is sometimes adopted inside of the framework of those laws, but statutory laws are the law of the land. Instead, and they also say that they are defending the Constitution while conveniently ignoring the 10th Amendment, which provides states the ability to enforce laws that are not relegated to the federal government, such as military affairs and things like that, which are part of the military or part of the federal government. So sovereigns conveniently also ignore the 10th Amendment because it doesn't fit their narrative and it actually works against them. So there you go, guys. Why the sovereign citizen movement is such a plague. It almost always comes down to a suspended driver's license, lapsed registration, or a revoked driver's license. So there it is. And I will see you sometime down the road here later on. I'm not filming these as regularly anymore because I've just got my hands full. But I thought I would bring this out there because I ran into Sergeant Curtis's channel, and I just also wanted to take a moment to give him a shout out too. Thank you very much, guys. Peace out, homies.